Order, and our first order of business is we need to make a handful of amendments to our agenda. We've had several plates swirling this week, and most of these finally were firmed up within the last 24 hours or so. The first amendment we will need, and we'll just do these one at a time because they're not related, is an amendment to add discussion of intergovernmental agreement with the City of Griffin. This is related to the sewer capacity at the Lakes of Green Valley for the upgrades to the Potato Creek plant. We've been presented with that agreement now by the city, and we will need to act on that today. If I could have a motion.
Amend the agenda for the upgrade of Potato Creek.
Second.
Got a motion, a second. Any other discussion on that amendment? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Secondly, we have a letter of intent this morning to review and approve for Project Paramount. Correct, it is Paramount, but we're reviewing it. Again, like I said, a lot of plates spinning. So I need a motion
Make a
to,
motion to amend the agenda for the additional Project Paramount.
motion and a second on that.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
And then finally, we have Pam McCollum here with us today from McIntosh Trail, who is going to give us a brief overview of a proposed new project that will involve the Green Valley Industrial Park, the Rehoboth Road side of that property.
Then I make a motion to amend the agenda for the McIntosh Trail delegation to make that presentation before.
Second.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, our agenda has been duly amended for those items. Next order will be the approval of the minutes, which you should have received by either email or hand delivery over the last day or two.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes that presented for the regular meeting on 15/14.
We have a second on those minutes.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Moving now into the financial report. Are you going to do that for Tom? Okay.
Tom called this morning and could not be here due to a business situation that came up, so we'll flip over to the financial statements tab. There's really no changes on the first page in the balance sheet. So if you turn over to the next two, that's the monthly budget versus actual. And you can always tell, if you look on what officially is page 20, the second page of that, where it says net ordinary income, you see that we're $300 better than budget, which means we're pretty much even operating under budget. And if you look over two more pages to the year-to-date, July through April, same line, we're over budget by the amount, if you recall, that's a group insurance payment we had written to the county, and somehow it got lost, and so we have not voided that check yet. So that'll all even out by the end of the year. But if you look at the very bottom, net income, you can see that we're well ahead of budget for the year. So we're operating under budget, and that's a good thing. And I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions, David, on the financials? Hearing none, I'll seek a motion to approve that as submitted.
Chairman, I make a motion to approve the financial report as presented.
We have a second. Second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Moving into committee reports. First up, any action from the investment committee over the last month?
Yeah, we have one coming up, not last month. It actually went into effect. We're getting 0.26% interest.
Wow. Wow.
We'll reserve the celebrations for later.
That's good saying. All this cynicism over interest rates is getting old.
That what we pay them?
No, we split it with them.
We got a better deal. We don't pay on this one.
Yes.
Anything else from the investment committee?
That's all. You can take it.
Long range plan?
Have a report, Mr. Chairman.
All right. Industrial Parks Committee, anything going on?
Just to report, Walker Cliffs Committee did vote on the new mowing contracts. We did get a little better in some cases, and those are underway now. And since we've had some rain the past several weeks, Wish we could cut them every other day sometimes, but they're all under effect and the grass is being cut. And thanks to the county for assisting us on some portion of the lakes at Green Valley.
Shipper, anything to report in the area of transportation?
No.
All right, David, you're up.
All right, several things. First of all, I want to call on Pam McCollum just to give an overview of a potential project that would involve the authority, see the McIntosh Trail. Not sure the official title. You can tell the group, and we're happy to have you here along with your contingent. So I'll turn it over to you for just an overview of your project.
Well, again, thank you for allowing us to be added to the agenda this morning and to come before you and just let you know that we are looking at developing a project that will be here in the county. Will bring in jobs as well as to serve the residents. McIntosh Trail Community Service Board is a behavioral health provider serving individuals with mental illness, addictive disease, and developmental disabilities. And this project will allow us to serve more residents of Spalding County. Our agency serves 7 counties, with Spalding being our kind of administrative hub, as well as the center of our catchment area, with the surrounding counties being Butts, Lamar, Upson, Pike, Fayette, and Henry. So we are working with Mr. Pilkington on a project we hope to be coming before you soon.
Thank you. They will be coming back to the authority. There will be some action required of our board. Not today, but we'll let you know. We're also working with Spalding County through normal day-to-day things you have to do to get a project up and running. And so we'll bring that back to you when the time comes up. The lakes at Green Valley, we mentioned last month that we're working on having the park certified by the state under their GRAD, their grad program. And we actually have done everything needed to do beforehand to be certified. So now we're putting all that together. We did have one other thing we had to update. We had to do a cultural survey, and we have no endangered species. We have none that are endangered in the lakes at Green Valley, so we'll get that report and everything will be turned in, so we don't anticipate any problems. And we just did an updated phase 1 for the lakes at Green Valley, and again it showed it was clean. This one also showed no need to do a phase 2. We did a phase 1 originally. We were required to do a phase 2 because it was formerly agricultural property. You have to do it. And it was all clean at that point. And so we've just done another one to kind of update it since activity is good right now. And this is a nice comfort level for some of our prospects. The Food Technology Center, the only thing that's really different, their interview committee is still interviewing. We're trying to get a new director named. The only thing different is we've been saying the new building, if you ride up 1941 and look behind the big red G, you'll see the new building. May not be able to see it as well now. They're shifting it. Athens has suggested shifting it down towards, I think that's Woodruff, the street that the actual Food Science Center sits on. And they're doing that to move it closer to that building. Long-range plans now are to connect the 2 buildings. So they asked us what we thought about it since we were a participant in that, and we said whatever works best for the scientists, it works for us. It's not just where you can see the building, it's the building functional and doing what it's supposed to do. That's the only change out there. A couple of things, several of you attended. I was there as well. April 16th, there was an intergovernmental dinner held at the Senior Center, sponsored by Spalding County. The dinner was. The Chamber is actually trying to help coordinate this intergovernmental thing between basically the city, the county, the school board, the development authority, anybody else coming together, meeting. That's the first event of what we think are going to be several down the road. There's wanted to let you know about that. A reminder, new authority members need to get 8 hours of training before the end of this year. If you haven't done that, please see Kim, and she can get you set up to do that. We also need to sign an agreement, an intergovernmental agreement with the City of Griffin regarding the upgrading of Potato Creek wastewater facility. This is regards to the lakes at Green Valley. We've been working with the city, and we're to pay the city $4.5 million on or before December 31st, 2015, and they will have actually the new capacity up by mid-June, I think, of the next year, June 15th of 16. And so we need to sign that agreement, vote on that agreement. We have that with us today.
So we need a motion to approve the intergovernmental agreement with the City of Griffin calling for a payment of $4.5 million no later than December 31st of 2015 in exchange for 500,000 gallons per day of sewer capacity. Do we have that motion?
Motion to approve the board the intergovernmental agreement with the city.
Have a second? Second. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
And just for your information, the city does now, will be able to accommodate with the existing plant the prospects that we have. So those are not in jeopardy. This is just primarily for the future and help them with the upgrade of Potato Creek. Many of you know or heard of Caterpillar closing some operations around the United States. We work with Caterpillar pretty much year-round. What we can say is probably what you've already heard or what you've read in the paper. The one that affects Griffin is the facility they consider Greenville, South Carolina. It's in Fountain Inn. And they closed the facility. They did two things. The industrial manufacturing part of it will go to an existing facility in Texas, and the marine engine line will actually move to Griffin. There's room here in the facility for that line. There will probably be some additional equipment needed for the new line, and the community can expect some new jobs. Caterpillar is very sensitive to all of their associates when they're closing a facility due to becoming more efficient in the overall operations. So that's what we can tell you at this point. But we want to also let you know that we do work with them year-round, so we are trying to stay close with them. We also need to vote today on what was called Project Growth. It's 1888 Mills. We have come to an agreement on the Memorandum of Understanding, an MOU. It says what we're going to do, it says what they're going to do, and the City of Griffin is also going to be a party to the MOU. They will be putting in a new lift station to serve the facility, the previously NACOM facility. So we just need to actually officially vote on signing the Memorandum of Understanding with 1888. We'll be issuing our bonds. There's no liability to any taxpayer at all. We don't have liability in those situations. And then we'll be offering some limited property tax abatements as we do, also including school taxes on the real property portion, same percentage as city and county.
That's unfortunate, and all have already seen.
Everyone, great point, everyone has already been around. Actually, the bond attorneys represent the authority, so they really create the documents, and they refer them to us for review, even though they do represent us. And between Mr. Fortune and myself, we make whatever we
In
can.
order to make everything, so for Ms. Langford doing the minutes, I'm gonna continue. I'd like to make it. Put in a formal motion that we approve the signing of the memorandum of understanding for 1888.
Do we have a second? All right. Keeping it consistent today. Any discussion on that? All in favor say aye. Aye.
Get any votes? All right.
One of our other items that happened to come up under the amended agenda came up as of last night. We have a letter of intent from what we've called Project Paramount. And the letter of intent is to purchase a site in the Lakes at Green Valley. They also want a first right of refusal on a couple of others. They're visiting next week, so they're hopefully the final visit to determine which site they really want. They're not sure on which site they would like, and so they want to make sure all are available when they come next week to visit. So basically, we'd like to vote on them accepting, and Mr. Fortune has reviewed the letter of intent. It's very short. It says that they intend either site G, site N, M, or L, or ML/. We would insert, we vote on the principle, we would insert the one that they tell us they want next week into the amount.
Does that affect any other prospect or site? If we do that, that would,
We've got sort of yes. That's why we're not inserting a letter yet. We have another prospect interested in one of the same sites. So we are trying to work it. They don't know of each other. We're trying to work where we can get it where it all kind of, everybody is happy.
this is a good chance. So this one, we're talking about now, they got multiple sites, they will make a decision prior to.
They'll make it next week, and we'll insert it at that point.
Actually, and the first right of refusal actually expires on Monday.
Okay, we don't anticipate the other party coming between now and Monday.
They're coming today.
They're coming together. David and I are gonna be doing shadow puppets and tap dancing, but we're gonna make it work.
Don't look over here, keep your eyes over there.
We're gonna make it work. You may be asking why I'm doing such a goofy thing, but this is the company we've told you guys about, that this is what, like the 15th generation, who is the current CEO and chairman of that company, and he is the one actually coming next week to make that final decision. The company president and US-based chairman has already been here. They're the ones that have identified these sites. They're waiting on basically daddy to say, yes, this is the one. So
Well, the good thing is, after they'll be coming, it's just a matter of sites.
feel very good.
That's good news, man. Ain't it right here? So,
So what we need is a motion to approve the MOU.
No, the letter.
I'm sorry, the letter of intent that has been presented by Project Paramount, subject to identifying the final site.
I'd like to put that in form of a motion, you stated it, so,
That was your motion, right, Dan?
yes. Losing my voice, talking too much.
Got a motion and a second, any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Yeah, we're on a roll.
They have also sent us a draft of a purchase agreement for the sites, so they are very interested. Mr. Fortune has reviewed that document as well. They wanted to have that in our hands before the meeting that we have next week, so we've already agreed actually to the terms in the purchase agreement, so thank you for that vote. We're set up pretty well.
We gave them our standard easy credit line, cash on the barrelhead at close.
One of our other long-time prospects we've had, we need to vote on an MOU today for them. We've reached an agreement with them for one of the sites in the Lakes at Green Valley.
What's this project name?
Snow.
Okay. Yes.
So this is one that you actually voted on some general parameters last month's meeting. And you voted to do it subject to reviews and everything, but we've had a month of changes. So I'd like to have just another vote because we've made some changes, nothing substantial that we're giving up or they're giving up, just wording. But since that has been completed, we'd like to just take another vote on that today so we can start today.
Memorandum.
This is a memorandum.
Actually, this one's called a project agreement, same thing,
Okay.
different title.
Glad to put that in form of motion, Chairman.
Second. We have a motion and a second
Thank
to
you.
approve the project agreement related to Project Snow. Any other discussion on that? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
And then we have another one of our prospects that has visited a number of times. Sort of relates to what Diane was asking earlier. They are coming in an hour and a half, so we'll be visiting with them. And this one also looks really promising, so we'll keep you informed on that one as well. And we also mentioned, maybe a couple of months ago, we had a company that actually offered a letter of intent for all the land in the lakes at Green Valley. That was referred to long-range planning. It was considered by the committee, and it's my understanding the consensus of the board that we were not interested in the terms of that agreement. They have since come back and met with us again, and now they sent us another letter of intent for half the park. So I would just recommend, Mr. Chair, if you will sign it again, the long-range planning to present back to the board.
I think that would be appropriate to kick it back to long range plan, since it is a counter to the original proposal. Anybody got any better suggestion or opposition to that?
I just call.
I've got a copy of it. I'll get with you at the meeting. Shake it with you guys.
The last thing on here is the Georgia Trend June edition. Will actually feature the lakes at Green Valley in the publisher's page. So we appreciate Georgia Trend taking an interest in the lakes at Green Valley as being unique. So that'll come out, and we'll have some copies for you to, if you don't get it, we'll have some here for you to see in the June issue. That concludes my report.
All right, so it'll be nice, between that and next meeting, we close some of those deals that we got out there. That's great news.
Pretty exciting right now, that's for sure.
And along with this delegation here too.
Do we have any old business to come before us? We will move into our reports. Why don't we start over here with the Department of Labor? April, do you have
Sure.
anything for us?
Well, we're just kind of rocking and rolling along. Not a lot of big activity happening right now, but this is all very exciting, of course. You know, I love to put people to work, so this is just really exciting to us. And one thing that I want to do, David, maybe sometime the next week or so, if we have a chance, I want to sit down and talk to you about some more customized recruitment that we're doing, especially for new projects. So we'll talk about that at length. We've started that. We started doing some more of that with new companies coming in across the state, and it's awesome. It's working out great, and the employers are extremely pleased with the outcome. So we'll sit down and talk about that. Okay. Anyway, everything else seems to be going okay. I just came from the Welcome Center, and I'll just give a quick chamber report. I was with Bonnie, and she said, just tell them we are busting at the seams. So for whatever that means, that's the chamber report. I know they've been busy. Yeah, okay, well, I'll let somebody else talk about that. She didn't give me all the details. But I don't know about the golf tournament.
Just to follow up April's comment, when I first started doing this, a long time ago, doing this line of work, the Department of Labor's office used to be referred to as the unemployment office, but you always call it. I don't care what reason you were going to meet, it was always, we're going to the unemployment office. And now they've reversed that, it's the employment office. And they do a great job, and they have people like April out there who actually, that's her job, is helping folks like us and helping citizens who are looking for a job get a job. So they are one of our true partners in what we do. And when you add the Department of Labor, Southern Crescent, Quick Start all together, I mean, the state really has some nice incentives to help communities throughout Georgia, not just Griffin, Spalding County. So we appreciate what you do.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We appreciate the partnership.
Brent, are you representing Kenny today?
That'd be me.
All right.
AT8's moving along. Yesterday, the EIP grant was submitted to DCA. On Tuesday, we'll be adopting approval to move forward on lot purchasing the pumps for the lift station for 1888 and the jacking boring of 362 Highway. As y'all know, we're taking that waste back to Shoal Creek wastewater treatment facility for land application. So that's moving along real well. Potato Creek is moving along. We're waiting on the final loan documents. The loan was approved. We'll start engineering hopefully in the next 30 days. It'll take about 90 days to finish. We'll start construction next spring on that project. And basically, we're just moving along. The city's finished our budget. Kenny's put final numbers to it, and we'll be getting ready for presentation to the commission. So things are pretty busy. It sounds pretty exciting with some of your prospects that I can sell some water and wastewater.
Great. William?
Yes, sir. Let's see. David, we cut the entire lakes at Green Valley, so the whole park is cut, not just those lots that you have.
Timing is really good for that, thank you very
So it'll
much.
be a pretty, pretty location. I was out there yesterday and it looks great. Happy to hear about these prospects. We need all the industries we can get here, and we appreciate everything you're doing. The county commissioners will be doing budget. We'll have budget review next week, starting at 9:30 a.m. on Monday and going until every day, Monday through Thursday. So hopefully we'll get through the budget next week. As Pam mentioned, they have been working with us. The parcel in question at the corner of Rehoboth and Arthur Bolton is part of the AKB overlay district. And in order to build on that parcel, a development plan for the entire parcel is required for their adult crisis center that they want to put out there. So the entire parcel has to be planned, not just one area of it. So we've been working with them on all the requirements of the Arthur K. Bolton overlay zone out there. County commissioners and the city are working together on a transportation planner agreement with Paragon, three-way contract, and hopefully we'll have that ironed out soon so we can get a transportation planner. As you know, we've been without one since December, so it's been a long time coming. And just look forward to hearing more announcements. Thank you.
We look forward to making that. Do we have any new business to come before us today? I want to thank all of our guests. We got a full house here today, and please know that this meeting is always open to our citizens. I hope people will come out and get informed on what we do. It's great to have a full crowd. And if there's no other business to come before us, I'll entertain a motion. We adjourn. Second. Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Back up today.